Hey everybody, it's Joey Hartman here, coming to you from my stamp studio in Lincoln, Nebraska, and it is day 3 of our Traditions of Christmas craft along. My friends Julie and Allie and Lisa and I all combined together to collaborate to bring you these 8 gorgeous projects. I'll show them to you in a minute, and today we're going to make the last 2. So if you're new here, I would love you to say hello, and if you're not new here, I would love for you to say hello as well. And I hope you'll chit chat with me, because otherwise I'm kind of sitting here at my computer on my own. So I always like to know what you're thinking of what I'm making, what's going on in your lives. So I go live primarily instead of doing pre-recorded videos, because then I can answer any questions or visit with you, etc., etc. Okay, so what is a craft along? So some of you had the opportunity, well, you all had the opportunity, if you knew about it, to pre-register for this class, which meant you got all these products. So you got this whole pack. Well, mine's not whole, but you got a whole pack of the Traditions of Christmas paper. You got, what else have I got here? You got these gorgeous, gorgeous sparkly sequins, my favorite current embellishment. You got a whole bolt of the real red ribbon. This will be great for any kind of project, even wrapping your gifts, because it's pretty wide. I think it's 5/8 inch wide. You also got this prepped kit. If you bought it from me, this is how your kit came. So every project is packaged in its own envelope and ready for you. And then my kits, I did in the exact order of the PDF. So, and then you also got a PDF that I sent you. I think this is like around 20 pages. So there's lots of details in here. There's graphs and charts, multiple pictures of the project. And so you got that as your kit. Oh, we also sent a little gift. This was my gift to my people. So, and it's a little Christmas notebook on the inside where you can make a list, keep track of anything. Doesn't have to be Christmas list, but it could be if you wanted it to be. And I'll show how to make that little project, because some of you might be interested in a quick gift idea and an easy gift idea for friends or family at Christmas. I use things like that for stocking stuffers. Okay, also we are using the Christmas greenery. The suite of products is called Traditions of Christmas. So this is the die set for the Christmas green. Is that right? Yeah, I had to think for a minute, because we've got 2 bundles here. So I'm backwards in my camera. So every time I think I go one way, I'm supposed to go the other way. Okay, so there's those. We're going to use those today. And I've been using them for the past 2 days. So if you haven't seen the past 2 days video, then I'd encourage you to go back and watch those, because these are really great projects. Everybody kind of outdid themselves with our creation. So this is the other bundle, and then the dies for this are all these label dies. Now I will tell you the truth, I've been reaching for these label dies for lots of my projects. They're really good sizes. We're going to take a look at those today, and we're going to make our last 2 projects. All right, and as we go along, if you think you might be interested in this kit that we're making today, I'm happy to give you the link to register. Actually, on YouTube, the link to register for it, I have just 2 kits left. So if you're interested in it, you want to grab them right away. There is a link that says details for this class and register here on YouTube. It's not on Facebook, because Facebook gets glitchy sometimes. They don't like outside links in a video description. But all you can do, you can just message me on Facebook if you're watching on Facebook, and I will send you the link. Okay, I'm going to get on the comments to see who's watching. So I'm going to say hi to those who are watching me now, and then I'll check in later, but I'm going to be pretty focused on making our projects today. But I always check my comments at various times during the video and then at the end too. So I love that you comment and join me. Diane is here. She's watching on Facebook. Good afternoon, my friend. Julie's here. Lovely day in Minnesota, she says. And she says, all the projects have been fantastic. Thanks, Julie. Julie's been watching every day. And she has a PDF tutorial. If you want just a PDF tutorial as well, you can just purchase that too. And so the links for that are in the video description as well. All right, friends, we're going to click down to my desktop and I'm going to get started with your projects today. So I've got my PDF here. I'm going to move all these projects out of the way. And since we just have 2 today, we've been doing 3. I am going to pretty much do these from scratch, other than I already have my designer series paper cut for these. But if you got our packet, or if you get one of the last 2 I have left, this kit will look like this. So it's got the Real Red card base. It's got this card. This is kind of a card in a card. It's got a piece of white cardstock that goes on the inside of this card in a card, and then you've got this for die cutting your label. Now, I didn't cut any of your DSP. You have your whole pack to cut if you have the kit. So you can use either the designer series paper that I'm using, or you can choose something else that maybe you like better. But I'm going to go with what Julie picked. This is her project today. This is the card we're making. So isn't that pretty? And then we're going to die cut this image right out of the DSP. So this opens like this, and then it has the greeting on the inside, some more DSP. Julie got fancy with hers too, and she used actually 4 different kinds of DSP, but you guys can use obviously whatever you like and have your card go the way you want it to. So I think what we'll actually do first is we'll do the die cutting. Now this is the image. I didn't do it ahead of time today because I want to do some of these today just pretty much from scratch. I had quite a bit of die cutting and a lot of things done on the last 2 days because they were very involved projects, very over the top and detailed, and I wanted to make sure I could get them done in a timely manner. I still was over an hour both days, but if you're watching replay, then you can also stop and start whenever you want to, or you can, you can always come back, save your videos. You probably know that on Facebook you can, or YouTube, you can save them. And you can put them in a folder so you always know where to find them. And then that makes it easy. You don't have to find my channel and try and figure out which video you want to watch. Because Facebook doesn't actually post them in the timeline order that I make them. I'm going to get this. So sometimes you have to search a bit, which is sometimes not all that convenient. So this is from the Christmas Greenery. That's why I say you can just save the video, start a group. I forget how they call it. But you can save it, and then it'll ask you if you want to make a folder. Maybe it's a folder. I'm not sure what language they use. And then you can... Have I got this right? I don't think I do. Is that right? Hang on, everybody. Will be just like me to have this. There we go. Sometimes when I'm on video, I have to focus a little bit more because I'm chit-chatting with you. And then I have to think about stamping second instead of first. But sometimes it's more helpful if I think about stamping first. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and die cut this. This paper is so pretty. Every side, every pattern has one side that has gold detail on it, and it's just so pretty. I'm on my 3rd pack of this paper. So let's... I'm going to grab all of our bits here, and then we'll get started with this card. I don't think I have to die cut anything else with this one. This is just Post-it tape that I buy from Amazon. I know I get questions about that. Where What are you using to hold your dies down? You know, you can just use Post-it notes too. Okay, going to get these all out of our way so we can get putting this card together. Let's go. Alrighty, let's go ahead with this. Now, oh, I guess I cut an extra one, but we've got one, so we're set. Those of you that did pre-order the kit or you bought it later and now you're watching the recordings, I'm not going in the order of, I am going in the order of the projects, but I might not be going in the exact steps that the other girls did. I guess I could. Maybe we'll try that with Julie's today and see if that makes it actually a little bit easier. Usually I just make the card and I go the way I usually go to make things, but maybe today we'll go ahead and, well, here we go. Get our card base. Now, if you ordered my kit, I did, you get your cards already pre-cut like this, and I did score mine for you, but this is just a normal 8.5 by 5.5 piece of real red cardstock, and I scored it at 4 1/4. So that's Julie's first instruction. Let's put this aside for a moment. And she says, this is something new for me to actually follow the directions. Probably would save me some redoing of things if I would follow directions more often. Okay, so she says we're going to cut, I'm going to see if I'm in the camera, we're going to cut the front of the card on a diagonal from the upper left, and she didn't say score line, but that's what she meant. Upper left score line, I'm going to put that in the trimmer little crevice there, and then I think what we're going to do is we're going to cut down to this point. So you've got the top left, and then you're going to go down to the bottom right corner, and that's how we're going to cut this card. Cut the front of the card on a diagonal from upper left to bottom right. So here we go. I'm going to cut that. And then your card's going to look like this. Now this is a good scrap, so you can just put that aside for a different card. Then she says we're going to also, I think, cut our DSP, and I have moved everything around. You would think I couldn't lose things in just like 10 minutes, but here I am losing things. Okay, so I think it's the green one. So she says trim one of the 4 and 5 inch, one of the 4 by 5 1/4 inch pieces on the diagonal, again from the upper left. So we're going up here to the bottom right. Makes sense? So I'm pointing this exactly in the groove here, and then I'm going right here. So this piece is, again, 4 by 5 1/4. So I'm going to cut that. So, right, okay, so that's, I'm just checking my directions because I'm going to follow Julie's directions. So if you're trying to follow me with the PDF, maybe it will make your life a little easier, I hope. Okay, so we got this much done. And then she says to adhere this to the front flap. So I am going to use glue for this because these corners, when you have these sharp corners, I just think they tend to pull up easily. Look at that side. Isn't it sad we're covering that up? This paper is kind of both ways, and it's so, you know, so many of our papers, at least I feel like, it's so hard to cover up one side, but we can't use both sides usually. We do have a few card designs I've been sharing where you can actually see both sides of the paper. But so now we're just going to line this up, and then this is what we have so far. Very easy. You can do this. This is super easy. Now she says we're going to adhere the second piece. That's this one, the floral pattern, 4 by 5 1/4, same size as the green plaid one, to the inside of our card. So here we go. I'm going to take this down like so, and kind of looking around to make sure I'm getting it centered. Okay, so now we've got this. These two are really pretty together. And then, what does she say to do next? Score an 8.5 piece of cardstock. This is 8.5 by 3, and scored at 4.25. So I've already done that. In your kits, that's done for you as well. So this is all ready for this piece. And then she says, adhere the DSP to the front. So this DSP is this pattern. Now in the PDF, we give you exactly all the measurements for everything. And actually, I think even including the scraps, which I haven't done before, but one of the girls likes to do it that way. So we all included the size we use for the scraps, so that when you go to recreate these, or if you just buy the PDF, you know exactly how much cardstock you need. Okay. Oops, did I do that wrong? No, that's right. That's right. Hopefully. Did I get that right? Yeah, we got it right. Alrighty, so there's that. And then she says, let's do this. Die cut the large, I already did that. Die cut the basic white label. I already did that. We did that first. And then we're going to adhere this to the front. And just reach. Okay, so this is the next step. Again, I'm trying to follow Julie's directions so that maybe that makes it easier for you if I go right along with the PDF. Those of you that bought the kit. Well, this was well received. I'm very happy that a lot of you were interested in this kit and the craft along this month. Now, Allie and I are getting our heads together for one next month too. I'll tell you more about that another day. If you're not on my email list, you'll want to subscribe to my email so you don't miss anything. I know I kind of went back and forth on this. Which way does this go? I think this one I'll go this way. My other card I did the other way. Although I think, okay, what does she say? She says, here, DSP to the front, die cut. We did that already. Cut ribbon. Oh, we have to cut the ribbon. I didn't do that yet. Okay, so she said, cut the ribbon to approximately 10 inches. So here we go. We're going to cut the ribbon to 10 inches. I probably am out of your viewing here. Let me push my mat up just a touch. But 10 inches. Okay, so there we go for 10 inches. Get that snipped off. And then she says, I'm not sure what she says, but I know this is what she did. So I'm going to actually put just regular adhesive for now on the back of this because it's going to hold our ribbon. So I'm just folding it at the top. And we're going to let, like, she has on her card like about an inch shows. And then we're going to go like this. I guess I could have taped my ribbon together. I don't know if she says to do that or not. As in, you know, tape the ribbon to itself, which I didn't do. That's okay. You can do it. If it makes it easier for you to manipulate it, just tape your ribbon together at the top, and then that might make it a little bit easier. And I think her tails come down a little straighter. I'm going to straighten mine out just a little bit. Okay, we'll call that good. That's good enough. Okay, so we've got this like so. Then let's go ahead and tack down the ribbon here with, I'm going to adhere the dimensional to both the ribbon and the paper. You want to make sure your dimensionals don't just go on the ribbon because it will be loose and floppy and it doesn't give you any stability. So then I'm going to go ahead and put more dimensionals on this little floral piece. I don't know about you guys, it's still warm here. Today is going to be, I think, low 80s, but still pretty warm. I'm still keeping up with watering my flowers. Okay, let's go across here with this. So that's what we have so far. You can see the glittery gold in that. And then I'm going to take my large scissors because I It makes it, it helps me get big ribbon like this a little bit. Well, it's not big ribbon, but you know what I mean. And then let's go, let's just do two the same direction. Kind of like so. There you go. That looks nice. That's a really easy way to add ribbon. If you're not a fan of bow tying, which I know some of you aren't, you've shared with me you don't love to tie bows. Okay, now I've got that. So next, I would think we would do this. I'm going to go ahead and do this part because we have to put that inside our card. Now she says put, now I think in the direction, she said 1/4 of an inch. This is a 1/2 inch scrap that I already had, so mine is at 1/2 inch by 2 7/8. I'm just going to go ahead and put that on first. I'm living dangerously, thinking that I will stamp my greetings without a boo-boo. Usually I say stamp your inside greeting first, and then if it doesn't go well, if you can muck it up somehow, you can just turn it over and then restamp it. But when you've got your DSP on it, you're not going to be turning it over. So let's hope I can manage this. All right, let's go with, she's got season greetings on the inside. So I'm going to ink this up with Secret C. Secret C is so pretty. Kind of an unusual color to put with red and green for Christmas, but it looks really nice. And then we have Pool Party in this paper too. Okay, that looks cute. That looks good. Alrighty, grabbing. I'm cleaning every day. I know I've said, so if you've been watching me, I've been saying this every day, but I try to be really diligent about getting Secret C cleaned off my blocks because it just ends up on my fingers and ends up where I don't really want it. Okay, season's greetings, and then I think, my friends, I think we have got this card just about done. So let's go ahead and put this on like so. And this piece is 2 7/8 like our trim was by 4 1/8. And then there's just going to be a tiny little border around here. So here's our card in a card like this. And now all we need to do is attach this guy in like this so that it goes like this, and then put our gems on. And we are good. I think this is crooked. I don't know whether the whole label's crooked. I'm going to just gently pull this up. Just a touch. If you pull slowly and kind of ease your way through it, you can usually get it up without tearing up anything. Yeah, that was just a little bit crooked and that was bugging me. I didn't notice it till we got it on our card. All right, let's use liquid glue. Let's go ahead and, yeah, so it's going to make sure I've got this right. Probably couldn't have messed that up, but you never know. There's a lot going on. I have an in-person class today. My Be Creative Club class is available both in person and online. And today's the day. So lots going on. I had to get those cards and kits. If you're in Be Creative Club, your cards are all prepped. And they will go out either tomorrow or by Saturday. I like to do my in-person class first before I send out my cards, just to make sure if I, accidentally left out a piece of something. I rarely do. I mean, I am very diligent about my kits, but once in a while, I just like that security of knowing that people have already made them and they had everything they needed. So when I can, I hold on to them to that extra day after my class. So we're just going to use these gorgeous red. We didn't use red too much yesterday. I like to save the red. You can see that I have the least red of anything. So let's go on here. And that, my friends, is a very easy, pretty Christmas card that will not take you very long to make if you want to make a lot of them. So our little card in a card with the diagonal fold there. So it's an easy one. You can do this, and you can do it for quite a few in a fairly short amount of time. All right, so what do you think of this one? Have you made this kind of a diagonal card before, or would you make it? Now today I showed you how, so you don't have an excuse of not making it. I'll check my comments between our projects, and then we're going to go on to the next one. And we're going to make a little treat box. So let me check your comments and just make sure if there's a question you had or anything, I can answer it before moving on to our next project. So I'm getting set up here, and then we are going to visit with you for just a moment. So if you're watching replay, you realize you're watching a recorded live video. So there is some chit-chatting in it. Liz is watching on YouTube. Hello, Kelly. Nice to see you. Liz likes the cards. She said she was liking the Secret C when I mentioned it. Oh, good. Awesome. It looks sunny, Shireen. Well, thank you, my friend. Looking forward to stamping in person. Yes, my friend Liz is from Minnesota. She's on the feed today, watching live. She's coming to stamp with us today in person. Where do we get the measurements? They are printed in the PDF, Shireen. This is available for purchase, and it has all the measurements. And I'm trying to give you the measurements as we go. And today we're going to make this little box here. Oh no, we made that one yesterday. So we have another box today. So there's a link to purchase the PDF in the video description. Okay, so there we've got that one. The next one we're going to make is this cute little box. So this is one of Julie's projects too. And I did, for those of you that pre-purchased the kit, I did score your, hopefully I scored everything on your kit. So let me switch projects here and be clear about what you've got in this one. So I took this out already, but this bag is what's in here, and that's what had the bits and pieces in it. So these 3 pieces, this is the kit for this box, and I had that in your bag that we're going to use for this little box. So this is the treat bag, and that's what these projects were in, or these pieces for the project. So there we go. This is also not hard, and it's pretty fun. You can make a lot of these. And I've cut my DSP. I think this is, what is this? This is 2 1/4 by 3. Let's check it. 2 1/4 by 3 1/2. So you need 2 pieces that are 2 1/4 by 3 1/2. You need 2 pieces that are 3/4 by 3 1/2. So that's what you need for your DSP for this one. Now, we didn't cut your DSP, as I said before, but you can easily use this or any DSP. Let's go ahead and let's get our die. There's a little stamping and die cutting before we start making our box. So in your kit, you have this for the label, and you have this for the stamping. So we put scrap paper right in your kit, each project, so you'd have that. I guess I mentioned that earlier. So let's go ahead and stamp. We're going to stamp the flower, we're going to stamp the leaves, and we're going to die cut that. And then this we have for the label. So again, we only use the dies and labels. For the most part. We might have had a circle in there. I can't remember. I think we just used what's in the kit. Oh, we did use 1 circle die. But pretty much if you've been stamping for a while, you probably have a circle die. So what I'll do first is let's go ahead and stamp the flower and the leaf. And let's get out our ink pads. We're going to stamp this little flower in real red. Get this out of the way. When I'm on video, I have my desk set up just a little bit differently than I do when I'm just stamping on my own. So sometimes I have to look and see, where did I set that down? Okay, let's close that pad, and now let's take out the old olive. Let's go like this. Now, if you do order the PDF, those of you who are asking for measurements and are interested in it, it doesn't come automatically to you. You pay for it, and then I get an email saying that you purchased it. And as soon as I see the email, I'll send it. Now, sometimes I see the email right away, and sometimes I don't see it right away, but it'll come to you soon. Like, usually never longer than the day that you order it, and usually sooner than that. But this has been a really, really busy week with so much going on, but everybody that's ordered the PDF so far has it. And those of you that pre-ordered the PDF early, maybe you prepped your projects and you're also stamping along with us. I hope so. That's the whole point of sharing our craft along. Craft along means exactly that. That's what we're hoping. But we also realize we go pretty fast in order to just not make a live video very long. So if you can't keep up with us, and some of you maybe are faster than me too. So either way, you can come back and watch the video. That's why I said it's probably a good idea to save, to make a list and save the video so you can come back. Well, what's going on with this? See, I just can't do it when I'm, well, I can do it when I'm live sometimes, but that didn't look quite right, did it? But it, no, it isn't right. What's going on here? I think that was right, actually, but so far it's not lining up very well. So usually I can get it faster than this, but today, my gosh, you guys, what is going on? I cannot see how that's supposed to go, but I think maybe I've got it upside down. Let's try that. There we go. Oh my gosh. There we go. Sorry about that. That took longer than it should have. And it's not that hard to line up. I made it look hard, but it really isn't. I've never had trouble lining it up before, but today was the day. Then we'll get our leaves set. This is a really pretty leaf stamp. Well, the flower is pretty too, but, well, I like leaves, so I maybe not be a great judge of, oh my gosh, Joe and Elizabeth. I'm just messing this up. This is why, for the most part, I had most of my die cutting done the day before for the last 2 days of video. Anyway, that's okay. You can see that we're all human, and we all sometimes have to take a little time, get things figured out. Okay, there we go. And that's that. Now, and at the end, I'll show you all the projects. So if you want to see them all, hang on to the end, and I'll get them all out and show you all 8 projects. Okay, so let's get this put away. I don't know about you, but I do actually make a lot of treat holders at the holidays, both Halloween and Christmas, sometimes even Thanksgiving. If I find something cute to put in a box, like a little Debbie pumpkin cake or something like that. I've made boxes for things like that before too. So this time of year, I'm always looking for cute treat boxes, and this one is easy. So you can make cute treat boxes that take you a long time, and for me that's not ideal because I've got lots of stuff going on. All right, my friends, this is a piece of old olive. I scored yours for you in your kit. The measurements for this are 4 3/4 by 7 1/2. Can you see that down here? This is 4 3/4 by 7 1/2. And then I've scored it at 1/2, 3, 4, and 6 1/2. 1/2, 3, 4, and 6 1/2. That's the long way. So I scored the long side by those measurements, and then I turned it and I scored one side of the short end. Here's the short end at 1. So that's really easy. You can probably just remember that. You probably don't even have to write that down. Okay, I'm going to go ahead, and I'd have to write it down because I can't remember diddly, it seems, lately. I keep making the excuse my mind is just full. I don't know. I don't want to say it's my age. That would be bad. Okay, so we've got this. I'm going to go ahead and fold all the score lines down and burnish those. Usually makes it easier with a box to get that much done before you start trying to assemble the box. Okay, now in our PDF we also have a diagram of this. So it's in another color, but it's the same box. I think Julie put it in yellow so you could see it better, but let's put our box like this, like hers. So she's got, this is the 1/2 inch side right here, and then so this is the 1/2 inch side, and then we've got these score lines, and then the bigger 1 inch one is at this end. So what we're going to do first is we're going to snip off this little tiny piece down here. I'm cutting it a little bit of an angle, so that's what you see here. Then let's do the box. So I'm going to cut into I'm cutting these 1 inch lines up to the horizontal ones. I'm calling this vertical and horizontal. So I'm cutting the score lines up to the horizontal one, and I'm making just a teeny wedge. They just fold together a little bit better if that's how you cut them, and same here. Okay, so there's that. Alrighty, so now ours looks just like hers. So let's go ahead now and we're going to assemble this. I realize I haven't even looked at her directions for this. I just went off on my own. But maybe some of you would just as soon watch as you know, as instead of just read the directions too. That's usually what I do, and then if I'm not sure about something, I go back to the directions. Okay, now we know this inch is going to have, this side is going to have the DSP, because this is going to be the side of our box. It's going to fold like this. So there's that short flap. So this is the side that needs the designer series paper. So we're going to put our designer series paper, I am going to use glue for this, and we're going to put it along these. That looks like it should have been bigger, doesn't it, my friends? Let me look at Julie's again. Look at my sample. It looks right, though. Well, let's see. Looks like that's too wide, but we're going to go for it. This one, too. So you're putting your DSP, the 3/4 inch by 3 1/2, did we say? I think we said, yeah, 3 1/2 on these 1 inch panels, the ones that are 1 inch after you do your scoring. Just kind of centering that. Okay, then this is going to be the front, this is going to be the back. So let's go ahead. It's easier to put on your DSP like this before you have folded up your box. I'm just trying to make sure I'm even across the top. And there we go. Okay. The only thing about liquid glue is you have to be careful once you put it down to not move it, which is sometimes it likes to move when you don't realize you're moving it. So just be careful with that. I'm going to go ahead and put this down here. So now we have it this far. There's our cute little box. And actually, this is going to be really easy. So what I'm going to do now is fold this end over, and then I'm just going to fold this up to meet that. All right, so on this little 1/2 inch flap, I'm going to put my adhesive like so. And then I'm going to just fold that up like that. So that meets that side. And then we've got this much of our box made. Okay, now I said this 1 inch panel is the front. We're going to call this the front of our box because that's the way our box folded. So I'm going to go to the little tabs. I'm going to fold them in. And then the back's going to go down first, and then the front like that. And then you have nice folded edges on the front of your little box. Now, is anybody going to really notice that if you do it so that this end where that open cardstock, or not open cardstock, you know what I mean, the edge of the cardstock shows? No, no one knows, no one cares. But we kind of care when we're making a gift for someone that it looks as nice as it can. So now I'm folding this up like this. Okay. Now, with liquid glue, we know it doesn't always like to stay right away, so I do this all the time when I'm doing craft fair projects. I'll grab a glass block. Is that too big? Oops, oh maybe. Now it's going to kind of push my sides out. Hang on. Let's get a skinnier one. I'm just going to kind of squinch down that glue, and I'm going to let this sit for a moment while we do the front of our little tag. So let's grab our label that we already die cut and our little, we'll put the flower on last. So let's leave that and let's stamp Merry Christmas. Pretty simple, straight up. The Christmas is the bigger stamp, obviously, so I'm going to stamp that first. You don't have to. It seems like when I don't stamp the biggest one first, I don't have my spacing very well, and then it bugs me. So I'm going to stamp the Christmas first, like so. And then, that's not very straight, but we're going to go with it. It's okay. I don't think it matters all that much when it's scripty like that. But I could have done a little better. Now I'm going to go up here with the Merry. And there we go with that. Let me clean my block for a second. Because red also likes to follow you if you don't get your box cleaned off or your stamp. Okay, there we go. Now I've got that. Now let's make a little, we'll put this on last. So let's hold on to that and let's do our little bag. So I'll show you how I do mine. What have I got in this? Oh, I've got some kisses. So let me get some of those out. Oh my gosh, my bag, I guess, is open at the bottom. I have candy cane ones, but I'll go ahead with this one. I didn't realize the bag was torn. So you'll get your candy out, and then what I usually do is I usually kind of figure out from my box size. I'm thinking and talking, and it's probably not going the best for you guys because I'm crafting and trying to talk and trying to think all at the same time. So this is how I usually do things like this, and then I kind of check it with my box to see, is this about the right amount before I actually close it up. And it is, I think, pretty close. You could probably get a little bit more in there. Maybe one more. Okay, we're going to maybe one more. So that's how I do it. Now, if I'm getting ready for multiple of these, like for a craft fair, then I would count out how many I have, and I would just trust myself to have about that many. So now what I'm going to do is, I should have done this first. I'm going to get out my ribbon, and I'm just going to figure out my bow. So Julie might have put how long to make it. That's how I do it. I just think, okay, here's the loop, here's the loop. I've got a tail on it and another tail, and then I'm going to give myself maybe a couple more inches just because it has to wrap around the bag. All right, so this is my no muss, no fuss way of doing this. I just kind of get this flattened out a little bit, so we'll go back in our box, and then I'm just going to twist this like that. But again, don't get it too tight because it won't fit in your box. So I kind of flattening it out. I'm going to just hold this with my left hand. Sometimes this takes a little practice, I won't lie about it. I've done many of them. Oops, my bow's got turned in the back. I've done many of these, and I used to like tie them together with you know, little, what are those little ties that come like on bread and things like that. I'm going to move this up just a touch because I don't think that all those are going to fit in my little box. I want to make sure. It's better to underfill your bag than overfill it with candy. Just make our little bow. And now before we go too far, I'm going to check this again. So I'm going to kind of scrunch up those kisses. Or any kind of candy. M&M's, Christmas M&M's would be cute too. And let's get this in here. I probably filled this too full. I probably should have quit. So it's going to probably bulge out a little bit, but it fits in there pretty well. So let's call that good. I'm going to fluff up my top here and my bow. I probably could pull it up a bit more so it shows. Okay, that looks nice. Let's go ahead and do this. Now these little treat bags, they are in the online store. And what I'm also doing this week is I'm sending every day for the projects that I created that day, I'm sending the product list, supply list, to my email list. So if you're not on my email, there's a link in the video description for you to subscribe to my email list. Whoops, I don't need 2 of these. And you can make sure that you know what I'm using and where to order it, and all the links are clickable, so you can just click on the link, and they're PDFs. They've got the pictures of the projects on them. You can just download them and print them, and then you've got the full picture. I'm going to come down just a touch so I have room for my flower, and as it ends up, this red stripe's kind of down the middle. I didn't plan that, but just noticed that. It looks pretty good. Now all we're going to do is add our little leaf to the back of our flower with a mini glue dot. I'm going to grab the mini glue dot. I'm going to put it face down on my mini glue dot, like so. Then I'm going to put that on my flower. This is something I would create, because now if I was doing it for a craft fair, I might do this a little differently and get this flower instead of sticking out like this, which is really cute. If you're doing this that you're going to give away and then you don't have to pack it or anything like that, then that would be really cute. So that's how this one is. But for this one, let's pretend like we've got to get a bunch of these ready for a craft fair. So I'm going to put this one, I'm going to get a couple of small dimensionals over here so that when and if I pack multiples of these, that little flower is not going to get all bent up. So if you're traveling at Christmas and you're taking treat boxes, this one in particular, you don't want too much sticking out. This will probably be okay. You'd have to be careful, obviously, packing it, but okay, so there's our flower. Let's grab our sequins. Look, I'm ready almost to start a new pack of these. I've already gone through at least one pack of these, and Julie used the little gold ones, which I don't think we've used gold yet this week. Not sure if we have or not, so I'm going to use gold too. I've got one down here. Let's put another one on. There's 3 sizes. That would be my last. Let's just go right. Whoops. I don't want that. Maybe just over there. Then we've got our triangle of sparkle. Isn't that cute, you guys? It's so easy. It's so super cute. You can, I mucked that up on my original, but there's our cute little treat boxes with the DSP all around. This is very easy to make. If you haven't made boxes before, this is a good one to start with. I'm calling this a box. It's really just a treat holder because it's not enclosed. But there is our day 3 project, my friends. Look, we got through that. Yesterday we had so many details, but they turned out cute. I mean, we have some really, really pretty. Hi, Bhavna, you're back today. So happy you're here. Shireen, you think it's super cute. I'm so glad you like it. Jackie says it's nice and easy. It looks great. Let's go and get out all of our projects this week. So this was day 1. We made this card. I've got to see, am I in the screen? I tend to get off the screen sometimes. So day 1, this is a card in a card as well. So pretty. That is one of Allie's cards. Then this cute little box. This belly band, this is also very easy. This belly band slides off, and there's candy on the inside. And this, I put Ghirardelli's in mine. You could put other kinds of candy. But this is also a super easy box. You can decorate it any way you want to. But that's Allie's. This is my Christmas card from the first day. I've got the sparkling holly on here. That's part of this set. Yesterday we made... Get everything else out here. This is my card from yesterday. First day? No, these were the first day. This was yesterday. This is my card, and when you open it with a ribbon on it, you get this. So it's a gift card holder. This is also very easy. This is all just one strip of Secret Seat paper. So that's number 4. Then we have these two Lisa's yesterday. So this one is, this slides off to open your card. It's a gatefold like that. The inside of this, pull this off. We have this on the inside of that one. So that's that one. And then this is Lisa's card as well, with the embossing on the white embossing powder on red cardstock with the big beautiful branches on this one. So we got 8 here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There you have it, my friends. If you have joined me every day, I'm so happy you were here. Julie says, so many super projects. Great job. Thank you, Julie. Mimi says, love them all. Jackie says, cute treat boxes. Bhavna says, very nice and very pretty treat boxes. Thank you, everyone, so much. I'm going to pull you back up here. Thanks so much for joining me this week. If you didn't get to see the other 2 videos, they are uploaded. They are on my Facebook page too, Create with Joey. You can find me there. They don't stay up on Facebook, so I would recommend you actually look on YouTube and keep your list of videos together. You'll just label your group Traditions of Christmas, and then you'll have all 3 videos there. So if you have any questions, I'm happy to answer them. And if you commented and I missed your comment, I know the other day I missed quite a few, so I came back and answered those later, and I'll do the same today. And probably for the rest of the week, I'll be checking those. And thank you for the hearts. Thank you for the thumbs up. I just really appreciate it. That helps me grow, and I am trying to grow. And don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel while you're here, and click the notification bell as well. And must subscribe to my newsletter so you don't miss anything coming up. I send free tutorials almost every week. I rarely miss a week. So if you want a free tutorial, make sure you do sign up for that. And then you'll know when my events are too. All right, my friends, I'm going to just click comments one more time just to see if I... hi, Suzanne. Great inspiration. Well, thank you. I'm so happy you like it. Okay, friends, thanks again for being here. I hope you have a lovely weekend, and I hope you'll try some of these projects. Let me know if you do. I'd love to see what you make. All right, friends, take care. Looking for the finish button.